taking the food off his plate. Congratulations, Trey! Oh, man. I'm full with the family. This is a hard night's work tonight. I want to thank God for this victory. I want to thank God for allowing me and Abraham and everybody who followed this card to get out safe tonight and return home to our families. At the end of the day, we want to entertain you guys, but ultimately we gotta get home safely, and I'm happy about that. As far as the victory, I think it was a good victory for my progress. You know, Abraham is not only a hard hitter, but he's difficult to fight. You know, he does some awkward things in there. You know, the referee did a good job tonight, but I really felt like he could have let me fight on the inside. That was a major part of our game plan because Arthur Abraham does not like it to the body. Nobody likes it to the body, but he really doesn't like it to the body. And I mean, as you guys saw, as soon as we got close to each other, he would bear hug me, or he would wrap his arm around my head. And I mean, literally, I was begging the ref, let me work, and he wouldn't let me do it. Burge told me, stop worrying about that, get refocused, and you know, let's find another way to do it. So I feel like, you know, if I would have had an opportunity to work on the inside, you know, we could have possibly stopped Abraham. We could have wore him down even more than we did tonight. But that being said, I'm happy with the victory, and I'm happy to be moving into the final.
Andre, two questions. Number one, was it hard to look good against Abraham, who your own trainer said may have been in survival mode? And looking ahead, do you think Brock and/or Johnson provide a style that might be more conducive towards more of a easier, entertaining fight for you than you want?
Yeah, I mean, initially I didn't know what to expect from Abraham. You know, I didn't know what kind of fight it was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to look, but he's awkward. He's short, you know, and he's compact. And some of the stuff, you know, he was doing on the inside, you know, made it to where I couldn't really flow like I wanted to, like I mentioned. But that remains to be seen, you know, concerning Johnson and Fry. You know, I think it's inevitable that me and Fry should have a showdown. He's been calling for it. I think, you know, the fans here in the U.S. want it, and the fans in Great Britain want it. So I think that would be an action-packed fight, and it'd be a live atmosphere like it was tonight in terms of fan fare. Thank you.
What was it that you saw in Arthur's game plan that you get into a lot of combinations?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about championship fights. You got 12 rounds, and everybody I talked to said he hit hard. And as soon as I went out there, he hit me with a jab. I said, we in a fight. So I had to make the adjustment because he does hit hard. But two things were happening in between the rounds. I was listening to my corner, but at the same time I said, I'm going home with my belt, and I'm going to defend my belt. You know, he's got some strength. He hits hard. He's strong. But, you know, I think we may have split the first 4 rounds, but, you know, I tried to stay calm and stay composed and pull away, and that's what we did.
Andre, so you said he hurt you.
I didn't say he hurt me. I said he hits hard. It's different. Go ahead.
What would you say in terms of Arnold, Brock, and Johnson in terms of their style? Would you be a fan of the fight?
What do I expect from those guys? I think Glenn Johnson is a guy who just, you know, pretty much got one speed, and he's gonna keep coming. But the thing about Johnson is we didn't get a chance to see how his body responded at 168 pounds, simply because he fought a guy that he was comfortable with in Alan Green, former sparring partners, and then B, that wasn't a torrent pace that they fought at. It was a very, you know, casual pace, and then he ended up catching Alan Green behind the head. So a lot of people said that he looked great in that fight against Green, and I don't take anything away from him, but we're going to see how that weight loss really affected him when he fights Frost, because it's going to be a higher pace fight against a guy who doesn't respect him as much as Alan Green respected him. And we're going to see how he really looks in that fight.
One of the main criticisms has been bothering you out here it seemed like the crowd was actually against you for the first time in a long time. How did that feel having, you know, the crowd allowing against you for what is the best fight?
I think it was probably 60-40, maybe 70-30, something like that, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. You know, I look at, you know, one of my favorite fighters is Floyd Mayweather, and, you know, he's 40-0. And, you know, he's fought the best, and he's fought in, you know, a lot of different circumstances. And I watched his fight with Ricky Hatton when he fought in Las Vegas. Now, I looked at his composure. I looked at how he stayed the course, even though it was a rugged fight. It was a tough fight early on, and literally everybody was against him. But he found a way to get it done. So I wasn't going to be detoured tonight by the Armenian flags, the German flags. I had a job to do. And, you know, I told people before the, you know, and when we first announced the fight, they said, you know, do you think you'll have more fans or you'll have more fans? I said, hey, he'll probably have more fans. I said, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's what it was, because you got to prove as a champion that you can win in, you know, many different circumstances. I know that I can perform under these circumstances, but it was good to let the people know that I can perform under circumstances like this.
Did you ever consider fighting Mayweather?
Hold on right here.
No. He's not. Two different weight classes.
Yeah, this guy should be thrown out.
I felt good. I mean, I knew that, you know, I knew that I could connect with the straight left, but at the same time, Arthur Abraham's money punch is the right hand. So as soon as I turned southpaw, he was licking his chops because, you know, he felt like he could line me up with the right hand. So, you know, I had to, you know, be cognizant of that. So I stayed there, you know, for a period of time, and you know, was able to, you know, do a little damage. But again, man, he's got a turtle defense. You know, he's tight. You know, he doesn't give you a lot of clean shots, and you can't get frustrated with his defense because, you know, they're walking into something. I have no idea right now. I got to really watch the tape. You know, when I hear Antonio, my promoter, my manager, and Dan, you know, these guys smiling and saying how good you look, you know, that encourages me because I'm hard on myself. You know, I'm like, man, this wasn't what I wanted to do tonight. And it's simply because you spend 2 months going over a specific game plan. And me, you know, I'm a thinker. So I feel like, man, I want it to look just like this come fight night. And sometimes when it don't look like that, I feel like I didn't do a good job. But, you know, sometimes I got to give myself some credit. So I got to go home and watch the tape before I can really give myself an assessment.
Andre, that total style, when you didn't really work on it, was there kind of like a quandary you want to get greedy knowing that he was going to eventually wait for you to stop?
Yeah.
Being that it's known that he has? Yeah,
we identified the certain you know, times and certain positions where he likes to explode. And along the ropes, he'll come with the wide shot. We knew that. And sometimes he'll need a breather, like he did with Jermaine Taylor, where he'll dance away from it and he'll explode with the 1-2. So there's certain areas where we knew he wanted to punch, but then again, in the heat of the moment, you never really know. So you just got to be alert. And that's what my corner told me from round 1 to round 12. You're winning the fight, keep doing what you're doing, but be alert. Don't go to sleep. Yeah, I mean, my coach told me, he said, listen, you know, a lot of people say, how are you going to penetrate that? You got to hit him. That's how you penetrate a defense like that. You got to hit him. And that's what we did, you know. And even though his hands are up, I'm still able to bust him up because his gloves are hitting him in the face. And so we'll take it. I think that everything was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. You know, I probably expected maybe a little bit more from him because, you know, he was in the best shape of his career and his back was against the wall and, you know, but he, after the 3rd or 4th round, he resorted back to the old Arthur Abraham. I expected him to step on the gas a little bit more than he did tonight. But he was, you know, he was huffing and puffing probably in the 4th round because he's got so much mass on him that after he throws those big shots, he needs time to regroup. All that blood fills up in his muscles, and you know he needs time to regroup. And so he kind of tired a little bit early, but still dangerous the whole time. You can't run in there and get crazy. Yeah, he caught me a couple times, and I always taught since I started boxing from a little boy, you know, that getting hit is not cool. Period. I know the fans, you know, we're in an era right now in boxing where everybody wants blood and guts, and if it's not blood and guts, people think that it wasn't a great performance or somebody wasn't a warrior or they didn't put on a good show. And I have an old school trainer, and you know, he taught me, and my dad brought me to him as a little boy. He said, teach my son how to hit and not get hit. So that being said, he caught me a couple times, but not with 2 and 3 shots consecutively, and that's the key. You may land one, but I can't give you 2, 3, and 4 shots back to back like that, and we were able to avoid that.
But it was a blood and guts fight because Andre gave him his blood and guts to Abraham for 12 rounds. So, you know, you were out there the whole time.
Dan, real quick, have they discussed for you when the final might be showtime?
We're looking at
MGM, baby, please.
Yeah.
Please.
What is it, man?
Please, come on, man.
He's already said MGM. He wants the MGM. We're looking at September, October, but this is a decision that we've got to get some shows from. We've had limited talks on that, but this year it's got to happen. It'll be determined more on June 4th when we see how that turns out, how the fighters, if anyone got injured, something was.
He knows more than that. He just ain't gonna give it up. He's like a politician. He knows what's going on. I don't know. I mean, the Kessler fight was tough, even though it looked easy. It was tough. And what I meant by that is he has heavy hands. And, you know, I've sparred guys with heavy hands. I fought guys. I mean, Miranda has, you know, heavy hands. So it's not that he hurt me. It's just that you felt it when you catch him on the, you know, on the arm. You catch, you know, when you know, he hits you with a jab. You can say, okay, this guy's got heavy hands. I mean, this guy's a sharp puncher. Abraham has heavy hands. And Carl Frost said he had bricks in both hands, and I agree with that. I just think, you know, he did what most guys do. He looked at me from the outside, and he figured that as soon as he hit me, I was going to blow over.
$90, I don't know.
The whole time leading up to this fight, all he talked about was knockout. He figured when he hit me, because his whole career was built on knocking guys out and overpowering guys. I think that was his main focus. You know, he thought he was going to knock me out and or wear me down. And our conditioning was great. We got stronger as the fight went on, and he called me, and I was still standing. So I think that played a role in this victory. And I think mentally that probably did something to him too.